Oh, is he gonna get his comeuppance under the sea style? You know that came up through his ass, right? Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're here, guys. We made it. We are at the series finale of The Boys on season 5, episode 8, called Blood and Bone. Yeah, it's crazy. It's really nuts to think there's been 5 seasons of this show already. It feels like it was just the other day that we started watching it, and we've been through our ups and downs, but here we are. We're at the grand finale, and yeah, it's basically Homelander versus everybody. We'll have to see. But yeah, last episode, the main things that to take away from that were, just more understanding of this crazy program that Homelander's trying to set up with trying to make himself the next big deity. Soldier Boy letting Homelander know he's not down with the cause, and so Homelander putting him back on ice, which, I mean, anyways, I discussed in my review about how I feel about that. And then I think one of the biggest things was that we lost a member of the boys. We knew it was a possibility, and it was Frenchie. Frenchie decided to sacrifice himself to save Kimiko. And yeah, it's kind of sad that it happened, but I think that if there's any way that Frenchie would want to go, that was it. So yeah, we're here with the final battle, if there is a battle. I've seen a lot of things from Eric Kripke about the finale, so I tried to stay off social media though, because I know y'all like to spoil, but we'll have to see what this episode brings. It's only a little over an hour. It's actually not even the longest one of the season, which is interesting considering it's the last episode ever, but we'll have to see how this is all gonna go down. I'm wondering if we're gonna see Ryan, because it feels like he just kind of got swept off the table. But anyway, I'm just ready to jump in and see how we're going to wrap this whole thing up. So let's get into it. But just before I do, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who has been there. I know a lot of you have been there with me since I first started reacting to this show until now, and you've been with me with the Gen V. So I really appreciate you guys. You're so great with commenting and interacting and putting your perspectives on things. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate your viewership. I appreciate all the support, really and truly. Even though this journey is ending with the boys so far, hopefully you will join the family, because I watch all kinds of stuff that's in this vein. Hopefully something else will come up that can fill this void now that it's going. Hopefully you'll be there for the journey. I'd love to see you there. And also a reminder that if you'd like to catch the entire season uncut as far as my reaction, you can do that on my Patreon. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. What's crazy about a moment like this is that, it seems like for all that Frenchie has done, there should maybe be more ceremony around his death, but
Serge Emilien Lassant.
Didn't I just say we never got his name?
Unsound mind and haggard body. The knowledge that I've seen each and every one of your assholes.
Excuse me?
Probably.
It says what it says.
Yeah, like it's his final thoughts.
The best and worst of times. And I've become closer to
Sage
all of
on
you
the outside. That's such good imagery.
I cannot know if I will have wiped my own slate clean enough to enter the kingdom of heaven, but fear not, I am at peace, because
That
for
part.
a moment I knew heaven on earth.
His cœur, mon cœur.
In your arms, mon cœur.
I don't know if y'all saw, but Karen got a tattoo. Her and the actor who plays Frenchie got matching tattoos, and hers says mon cœur on it. So did she do that with the rumbling ground? I thought maybe someone was coming. So she did that.
To change the world are the ones who usually do. Easter Sunday.
I'm so 50-50 on my feelings about these fake Vogue commercials, because they were actually pretty smart, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I'm glad I don't have to see them anymore.
Sorry.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was your asshole father.
Not here to hurt you.
Only here because your daddy rejected you.
But you're also the son of God.
Oh,
You're not
Jesus.
sleeping in a barn. You can have a whole floor of the tower.
Don't want to be anywhere near you, bro.
I don't want to be anywhere near you.
Like your dad. No one does.
I'm immortal.
Then why do you give a shit about what happens to
That
me?
part.
Our family. We have the same blood pumping through our veins.
Yeah, well, you got your shitty racist dad.
Thank you.
Oh, Soldier Boy doesn't matter.
Exactly. That's why you're here. I hope he clocks it.
I know you.
You don't.
Because I am you.
Ew, no. Thank God for Becca.
And
He's
you.
not.
Get fucked.
Thank you. That's
I am
Butcher.
nothing like you.
That's right.
You were already the most powerful person on Earth, and you were a lonely, miserable piece of fucking shit.
Everybody clocking you to your face. God.
Why the fuck would more power make you any better?
Thank you.
Scaring people into calling you God
Thank you.
doesn't make you God.
Ryan, your mom would be so proud of
And
you.
deep down, you know that.
Butcher was only with him for months. Look how much of an effect he already had.
You don't know what's going on.
Cool.
It's okay.
Sure. Can you go away?
She won't talk or she can't talk.
Both.
That girl's got a real, I'm gonna rip your arm off and fist you with that energy.
She's been through a lot.
Yeah. Especially recently.
I told you we're not running. I'm not asking you to run. I'm asking you to save these people.
Save them from the guy whose hog they were drooling.
Wow, one more.
I bet Homelander has a weird dick.
Probably.
It's the best that any of us can do. Just get them to Canada,
Candidate!
hook up with the rest of your team, and keep helping people.
First of all, leave us out of it. But second of all, you think Homelander can't fly across the invisible border?
Canada through a horse race. Am I right? Gotcha, Ernest o'clock. I'll fuck myself right out.
Love you, Emma.
She was bitter, she was checked out, and she gave away so many parts of herself, there was nothing left. An annoying little shit, just running around saying there's always something worth fighting for.
Yeah, but you were right, though.
I swore to myself I would never let that happen to me,
And yet,
but it did.
life will do that when you don't expect it. A lot of people don't realize people don't become bitter necessarily intentionally.
So thank you for being my annoying little shit.
That's what she does because she's a queen.
I don't know about Never Meet Your Heroes, by the way.
You sure about that? Oh, really? We got Emma driving it? Okay. Bye, Team V. Love you guys. I'm so sorry. You deserve better.
Made from turbine grade titanium.
Is that for him or for you?
Guess I just didn't expect so many people would
Not believe?
doubt.
Because they're sane. Does he never take that suit off? Like ever? Is he ever off the clock?
Look, I know you're pissed at me, but I really need you right now. What is he thinking?
She said she's done. That's what you wanted, right?
So all those people who are going to doubt, what if you did something about it? I think you
Careful.
will.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
Well.
careful. He's right up Homelander's ass right now, girl. You know people who have been there before. You were never fully up there, but you met other people who were in there when you were halfway. This analogy's getting gross.
And I carried her collar with me for weeks. You know, anything to remind me of the pet I love so much.
Is this a real story?
He was your pet, your lapdog, really. Yeah, you strung him along, but you kept his leash tight because you loved using him. Oh, you got off.
She's trying to test the powers.
Anything to keep him from being happy.
She is talking to all of your dark thoughts. How'd she figure that out on her own?
And you let him. You wanted him to do it.
Oh, is Sage no longer powered? I think that's what she wanted, though, which sucks in a way.
Farewell, the what?
Fuck you on about?
She's testing to see if her powers are gone. She's going to be happier
My
for it,
brain
though.
was so loud, and now it's
Now you don't have to lobotomize yourself anymore.
thank you.
I mean, I guess. It's kind of a waste, though. But you know what? At least, well, I don't even know. They may still kill Sage, but it takes her off the map of being someone that is important to take out.
You're talking about breaking into the White House?
Yeah, and we have to.
Is it that hard right now?
You wear disguises. You dress up like those soldiers with the furry hats.
Her brain doesn't work anymore, guys.
And how do we get in?
Underground tunnel. The afterbooks one that JFK used to shake mountains.
See, now this maybe wasn't smart because Sage would be a good person to come up with a plan to get in, but it's fine.
So how about it, Yulon? One last go?
I mean, Kimiko's up for revenge. Yep. Yeah, what she said.
I'll take that as a yes.
Fuck no. Y'all are dumb as fucking shit.
Aren't you, though?
I'm going to Harry Potter World in Orlando.
Have fun.
Sage out.
Bye, girl. I think you have to change your name now, though. I mean, I guess if that's her happy ending, so be it.
And I was thinking, why can't Starlighters work in my factory as non-compensated employees?
That's
So Slaves?
Yep. Damn, the way they are pointing at some very real stuff that's happening right now.
Who the fuck is that?
Gunter Van Ellis, world's richest man. 17 children, amateur astronaut.
Who are they? Who are they drawing a parallel to?
They are the ruling class of America.
I'm gone.
Build your church will need their support.
Is he a believer? Or any of them? Or
No,
are they just scared of me?
their belief is in money.
If there were even the slightest chance that he might render you powerless.
You think I'm afraid of William Butcher?
No, of course
A
not.
little bit, but also mildly turned on. It's kind of a complicated relationship you all have.
Your Eminence.
Anyone can walk into the Oval Office now?
Crack some skulls, lay down your holy law.
Where did you learn about the Crusades?
The Bible, ever heard of it?
It's
As
not
if
in
you've
the
ever
Bible.
cracked it.
Let me guess. Indiana Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a documentary.
No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah. Oh, did he just kill the billionaire?
What did you...
He's an astronaut. I took him to space. Now,
Well, now you don't have his money.
and I don't need perverted fish fuckers who debase themselves endlessly for mere drops of my affection.
Oh, your tea out there, clear as day.
Since the day we met,
Duh.
I have never had less respect for anyone in my life. In fact,
Look at you, this misdirected anger, but
is that I want you to feel deep in your heart
deep.
how truly worthless you really are.
Period.
The second the live broadcast is over, I want the wheat separated from the chaff.
Oh, not the biblical reference. He's never picked up a Bible either. Why don't you go take a long swim in the ocean there, Kevin? Do us all a favor. You know, I saw someone say this online and I can't stop thinking about it because it's so real. Now, again, this might be for other people who are around, but bringing guns to a fight with Homelander, for real?
All right, should be a bit of a fucking laugh. Come on in.
Like the plan that you should have used the smartest woman on the planet or the smartest person on the planet to help you formulate, but you blasted her before you got the plan.
We're live in 5, 4, 3.
We haven't heard the ringing sound since season 3.
Fellow Americans,
Are they fellow if you're God, though? God does not have a nation.
we all know was tortured, stripped of his dignity, and killed. And that's all well and good. But
It is?
a God who fights back, a God you can believe in. Well,
Also, they don't actually know if Soulja Boy and them are immortal just because they're aging super slow. For real, like Soulja Boy could literally die of old age, just maybe it might take him 400 years to do it.
the second coming. But in a way, really,
I was about to say, there's no way Homelander's okay with being second to anything. You wrote this? You wrote this, oh father?
I am your God.
Exactly. Ew.
Your prayers are truly answered
How?
when you visit homelander.church.
So sorry.
It's Butcher and his team. Don't worry, we're ready.
The way that was
Everybody's secure,
anticipated, but y'all didn't think to let Sage figure out your plan for you.
There weren't no door here on them blueprints.
Nope. That's new.
Probably a trap.
Annie, what's going on?
Fucking shoot dog whistle.
Oh, goody. And only one of y'all is bulletproof. Great.
Fuck my fucking life.
But you chose it, Ash. Didn't you say that was great? Not ditching your Secret Service. But didn't you just say in the other episode that this is what you wanted? You earned this? It was all you? Being a suit not so fun right now is a thing. And then, pew.
Fucking finally, you judgmental cunt.
She didn't do it for you. She just don't want to die in your body. Also, she only did it because she knew that Ashley was doing what she wanted her to do. Bashley is the smarter one of the two.
Homelander's in the Oval Office.
Good. Lead the way.
Fuck no, he would rip my tits out through my vag.
He would.
Break a leg.
I think she's done a lot. Considering her power is not really that effective in a fight.
Proud of you, bitch.
Well, Ashley's always done the bare minimum, but it's been enough. That's also the only way she'll escape, right? If Butcher's tied up, or Homelander's tied up with these guys, she's actually got a chance to escape to some degree.
I'm gonna kill you. And then Homelander will finally see.
I got him.
I really hope you do, Annie. have powers, girl. Oh, really? Well,
I have mine.
Oh, yeah. It's going to give you a bit of an irritated throat, isn't it? Thank you. You know, it's taken a while, but I'm glad that we're showing that humans should be fighting smarter when they can't, you know, fight on the soup level.
This shot is diabolical.
Oh, you brought him to the water. Throw him in. Throw him in.
I can see in your eyes. Homelander terrifies you, but he
Yeah.
sure as fuck doesn't respect you.
What A-Train told you.
This isn't about me.
Of course it is. I used to have it all.
You never did.
Power, respect.
No.
All the bad shit started when you showed up. I lost everything.
You made those fucked up choices.
Thank you.
You're not a fucking baby. For once, take some responsibility for
You
yourself.
can't even spell responsibility. Not he died the same way as the guy from the Eternals. Or I mean from Marvel.
No matter what I do, so many people will never accept me into your hearts.
You're going off script.
And those who seek to destroy me, you will die the most horrible of deaths, as befits your wickedness.
Yeah, like, the whole thing's turning red now. Was this supposed to convert people?
Evening, cunts.
With the chesto cocks.
Daddy's home.
Billy is charming. Oh, we're gonna leave the broadcast on?
I was starting to think you weren't going to hold up your end of our deal.
One thing Billy has never been is a bitch when it comes to you, sir. I think he needs to get her angry. It doesn't work on command, remember? Ooh, very Spider-Man of you. Okay. They're like, damn, God's getting his ass whooped. Is there a particular reason you're doing hand-to-hand with him, Annie, when you could literally fry his eyeballs out? I'm so confused. But I guess she doesn't want to kill him, is what the point is, which is sad. The best thing you could... That was long overdue. Best thing you could do for Kevin is let him go. Thank you! Oh, is he gonna get his comeuppance under the sea style?
Oh my god, I'm
It's Jaws on steroids! Say her... Y'all are so messed up. Wow, every deep sea creature, they were waiting on this shit. You know that came up through his ass, right? Bye, Kevin. I feel like Annie should have gotten a little bit more of that, but fine. Okay, Kimiko, what do you need to do? What do we gotta do to piss you off enough?
Barsicon!
Right? Like, what are we waiting on? Oh, but you're a god, though. Gods don't run. You're not scared, are you? Ooh, that lift up was actually pretty cool. So everyone can take Homelander's lasers now, even though he's super powered? Not the fear. Who's that? Ryan? Yeah! Hold him! Hold your daddy. Time for him to get his final spanking. Look at that. Ryan and his two fathers. Ooh, that was a nice uppercut.
Everyone dies, starting with you.
Really, even your son? I thought you loved him. Eyes, Ryan. Are they all gonna get blasted? That might it. Oh Lord, she needs to charge up. Her battery's low. What's going on? Oh, okay.
What is wrong?
PTSD moment, sure. And here we thought Frenchie wouldn't be in the finale.
Rage is not what makes you
Yeah,
strong.
just intense emotion.
It has never been mon cas.
I don't know, she was pretty angry in season 1. Out of the way, rat guy. All right, let's see if it worked. Because you only tested it against soups that have only had 1 dose of V. This guy has 2 versions of V in his chest. And now did they all get it? Or was it just... I guess they all did, but Billy is hurt. It's not healing. And should it work on Ryan? Because Ryan's a born soup. He wasn't given V that we know of. You have a wound. We have chest wounds. But they were there before. No zappy zappy for you anymore. Like, oh, no up and away for you, bro. This is actually so devastating for him because he's never been without powers, ever. He probably can't even run well. Are the cameras still rolling?
And fucking bone.
Episode title. He's like, well, shit. Oh, that's so satisfying. For Billy in particular. That is all for Becca, at least. That should really be for Ryan. Been a minute since you got your ass whooped, huh, Homelander? Overdue.
You owe me. All the times I could have killed you, and I didn't. I let you live.
The psychics are like, do we still work for him, or?
You want your wife back? I'll have a shapeshifter. Be her.
Ew, bro, that's your kink.
I'll fucking suck your dick, please. I'll do anything.
So that's what it's all been about the whole time. I thought so.
Fucking shit, I like you.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, we're not into that, actually. Even the freaks in the room are like, that's too freaky even for me. I'm so glad Ryan's unconscious for this.
I'm the Homelander.
You were.
This is for my Becca.
All right. Quick and decisive. It had, oh, Billy. Oh, Billy. Kind of had to be that way, though, because we could never have him taking V again. Well, congratulations, Billy. You won. Got some emotion there. That's a long-term grudge coming to a completion. Bet you thought you'd never see a dead Homelander. And Billy's back to being human. That nightmare's over. Not the heart of the problem, but that nightmare's over.
I got you, kid.
Is he human? So about your dad, he's not gonna make it. Hope that's not a problem for you. Well, Billy expects he's gonna hate him for it, and maybe he will. But it was always gonna be like that. Yeah, all of it's on TV, so you're kind of, are you wanted?
I would like to thank the brave men and women of the CIA who, on my direct orders, dealt with this terrifying
Still
threat.
trying to make herself look good. Wouldn't be Ashley if she didn't.
I am not going to resign.
Of course she's not.
That was former President Ashley Barrett, who, by an unprecedented unanimous vote in Congress, was impeached.
You're lucky all you got was impeached, girl. Exactly what she feared happened. She was like, I don't want this on my watch. Well,
Oh,
you'll
it's
heal.
like dirty cock. Is this so rich men can taste dirty cock?
I actually believe it might be because it stinks so bad. I don't know why anyone smokes cigars.
Listen, Mike,
He's not sorry about your dad, but sorry you're upset.
but you done what you had to do. You done the right thing, Ryan.
He's like, I killed my dad too.
We can put all this shite behind us now.
Can we?
Start again. Just you, me, and Tara.
Tara.
I reckon your mum would like that.
Oh, but she's not wrong about that, though. That's probably the truest thing he said about his mom.
And it's better that he's gone.
But
But you're not a good person either.
that's very true. You and Homelander are two sides of a same coin.
I chose myself.
Period.
I'm sorry, but I don't want a fresh start with you.
That's fair.
I want this to be the end.
I think that's for the best, Billy, unless you get some therapy, but you never will. So you're not a healthy person. And good for Ryan. That's the most Becca thing he's done, is recognize that both my dads was toxic as hell. Oh, is Tara gone? Please no. Did he eat chocolate when no one was looking?
Tara?
No, not the dog too. I did see that the dog who plays Tara unfortunately did pass away. Now, Billy, what do you do? All the monsters in your life are gone. Your dad, Homelander, worst of the soups. Now you're just left with no mission and all those dark thoughts. Oh, he still wants to get rid of all the soups. Or is he going to destroy that like he should?
Too long, the worst behavior.
I knew Edgar would be back. Hey, baby.
That's why I've agreed to return to Vought as its interim CEO.
It was inevitable.
Steady hand is just what our share.
He's not wrong, though. He actually is the best leader they've had.
Butcher,
Butcher's gone.
sorry, buddy.
He lived just long enough to see Butcher reach his goals. But where is he going with the virus? That's what I'm not clear on. Is he just planning on releasing it and putting it in the air? Or is he planning to go to Vought? This room, full circle. They still have his... Someone take down the sky painting, please.
If you were going to release the virus, you would have done it already.
Unless I'm waiting for all the suit cunts to clock in for the day shift.
You think they're going to show up? Who's left?
Just pull this trigger, and it rains killjuice on all 99 floors. Shit will be worldwide within a couple of days.
Why?
You know why, Huey.
We already won.
Was Homelander the problem, though? He was part of it. Yeah.
As long as there's Vought, there'll be soups, and sooner or later, some cunt that's already out there becomes the next Homelander, and you fucking know it.
Not wrong. Although Edgar might be able to contain him. Maybe.
We need to end the whole bloody notion.
It's not going to happen, Billy, even with the virus.
And we need to make it permanent.
You can't take away ideas.
You drag me through fucking hell for this to be your canary.
Throwback.
You never did. It's already in you. I can see it.
It's
You
true.
might have a broken fucking heart, but you have one.
It's true.
You are not.
He is, but he does have a teeny itty bitty
It
conscience.
just hurts to be human.
Best line of the season. Will you do it?
Take some big bollocks to pull a trigger on a man.
But will you do it?
I will if I have to.
Billy kind of wants you to. He's taking beatings better than he did in season 1. Oh, you put him closer to the trigger. Oh. He gonna have a very big stomach ache later. He wants you to do it, Huey.
Sorry.
That's what he wanted.
I didn't want to.
Subconsciously,
do
that's
that.
what he wanted you to do.
I'm gonna call an ambulance, okay?
They won't make it in time. Why? Because it's the finale.
I gave you no choice.
That was the point.
All the blood inside I put you through. You stayed yourself.
You held on to your soul.
No matter what I've done.
But a lot of that was because Billy chose to do the more soul-rendering things.
I don't know what to do.
That's exactly why he wants to die. He has had nothing but pure hatred and revenge in his heart for a decade plus. Really does not know what to do anymore. So I said, him and Homelander, two sides of the same coin. Although the difference is he could have had people.
That's better, Lenny.
Always was. Bye-bye. Rest well, Billy. Him and Tara are going to be buried together? Sad but poetical.
I mean, he was nothing but flaws and bad choices.
Sure.
He made the world a safer place, which makes him a hero.
Anti-hero, but yeah.
Betty's in hell right now, flashing that smile.
Calling everyone to come.
Yeah, that's it.
That's enough. That's enough. That's all Billy would want, if anything at all.
I think it's good that he's next to my mom.
Oh, nice. She leaving? She's had enough of you psychos.
Bye.
Exactly.
Let's go, kid.
Oh, he's taking right? Well, he is a dad. He's probably the most qualified. That would be what he'd want, yes. Oh, they got remarried. That's a patient-ass wife. I don't know if I'd take it back after all that. Look how big his daughter is. He's like, honey, I brought home a little white boy. Don't ask questions. Oh, he went to France. Oh, yeah, she did. They did say they wanted to go to Marseille and get a little place.
Putting the Bureau of Soup Affairs back on its feet.
We need someone to run it.
Oh.
So what do you say, son?
Employment. I don't know.
That's an honor, sir. It's just,
Will they listen to him?
Thank you.
Yeah, he's like, I've kind of had all the soups for a lifetime.
So I actually have my own startup venture I'm working on.
Okay.
Offer stands if you change your mind.
Thanks, won't. Dealing with your errant soups? Why the hell would a human want to do that? Really? He went back to, oh, he bought the store? Okay.
And saltines.
Saltines, give me the saltines.
Pregnant, yeah.
Take care of your mom, Robin.
I don't know if I'd be okay with you naming my kid after your ex. That's just me. But I guess she's kind of responsible for how this all happened, but nah. Where do you get the money to afford this video store also, by the way? Huey's been unemployed for 5 seasons. The faces of what made the boys go round. Okay, well, that's a wrap, guys. That is a wrap on The Boys. Not just season 5, but The Boys period is done. Initial thoughts of this finale. It's about what I expected for what we got this season. I think I've expressed already, particularly in my last 2 reviews, that a lot of things don't feel like they were the original vision for how we were going to wrap this show up. I think a lot of things happened after they filmed this season, or at least after the plan for the because the thing is, when it comes to these TV shows, and again, it varies, of course, but generally they plan out what's going to be in the next season like a whole year in advance a lot of times, if they know it's going to be there. Sometimes in some shows, because the green light for the next season is so late, they kind of have to wait. But good shows with good showrunners, they will have at least an outline of what they want to happen for the next season before the next season's even close to being ready to start. So all that to say is that I do think that Kripke and co probably had an idea of what they wanted and some of the things they wanted to incorporate in the final season, and then a bunch of changes happen. You know, a lot of things happened in 2025, you know, and a lot of shifts happened, and I think a lot of those came through into Prime. And I think that after the plan, and like I said, likely even the pre-production or even some of the filming of season 5 happened, you know, the people there found out that Gen V was canceled and that, you know, they wanted something else, you know, in its place. And so I have my theories, as I said before, that there was a real push to want to, you know, pimp this new show that they're putting out, Vought Rising, but also to minimize certain elements, because we all know that throughout TV and all these different industries, there's been a real push to pull back on different storytelling, any type of storytelling that may be outside of what they would have considered the norm 80 years ago. And so, yeah, a lot of shows that had, I'm going to say the trigger word here, I'm so sorry, but that had any form of diversity. I'm not just talking about ethnicity. I'm not just talking about colors of skin. I'm talking about in gender, in identity, in ability, in just the type of story, any form of anything that was outside of your very stereotypical like 2 or 3 lanes of TV or movies. A lot of them have been canceled in the last year, or we're not seeing any of those projects being greenlit for production. So the messaging is sad, but very clear. And I think that that's one of the reasons why, you know, as I said, I just don't know what other message I can get from them canceling Gen V, which is by many accounts, one of the most diverse shows that was on television in multiple ways, canceling that for a show that's going to center around a racist, misogynist, and a Nazi. Like, you see how that's just, huh? So anyway, especially in 2026, like, I mean, it's going to come out next year, but you get my point. That's a weird choice to make. So anyway, bringing it back to this season, I feel like because so many changes happened, I do think a lot of things were done in post. I think they went and reshot a bunch of things. I think they cut a lot, and this is kind of what we got. And that's why I feel like in the last like 3 to 4 episodes particularly, it felt very disjointed. And I think it's because, like I said, they had to rip a lot out of the edit, stick other things in, and we have this kind of very haphazard MacGyver story that we ended up with. But by and large, was it the worst season of television ever? I'd say no, but you know, I've been seeing it everywhere, and I have to agree, it's unfortunately joined the ranks of, you know, the Game of Thrones and Stranger Things and other shows that were massive at their peak, and then they just went out sadly because of multiple reasons. So that sucks, because I think The Boys was having a real generational run for the first 3 seasons, and then, you know, these last 2 have been very shaky, but that is what happens sometimes. That is what happens. But yeah, coming back to this episode, not much. We had one battle scene. It's about what I expected. Like, I never expected there to be necessarily a massive knockdown, drag out fight, because the reality is that Homelander is so freaking powerful that, let's be real, like a true fight with him, the only people who could go against him are soups, or people who are souped up. Huey, Frenchie, if you're still there, they would have no business in a fight around Homelander. So the fact that it was Homelander versus Billy, which it's always been, that's been the theme of this entire show, is Homelander versus Billy. The fact that they were the ones who finished the battle, that made the most sense. Ryan showing up last minute, okay, you know, I guess so, but You know, it would have been nicer if maybe he was side by side a lot earlier. I have so many issues and thoughts around the Butcher and Butcher and Ryan relationship. I think overall the show handled it very poorly. I don't know much about the graphic novel, but I do think I remember reading that they were much closer in the graphic novel. Like Billy and Ryan actually developed a relationship and were a lot closer. I don't know why the show chose to just cut that out and kind of turn Billy into this miserable miser, but you know, they did what they had to do, I guess. But I will say this is maybe it was more so that, you know, they made sure that by this finale, as I said multiple times in the episode, that it was very much that Billy and Homelander were two sides of the same coin, right? Both of them are people who've done questionable, if not completely morally corrupt things for what they believed was the right thing to do, right? And both of them have alienated people that they cared about for their own personal interests. Both of them have hurt people that they claim to care about, right? Both of them push people away. So they're very much, and that's why, and I do think that that's one thing the show always did a very good job of, is that they both had an unnatural pull to each other. Mostly Homelander to Billy, because even though he didn't want to recognize it, Homelander saw so much of himself in Billy. But for Billy, obviously, it was more because he was obsessed with him as like the object of all of the things that were wrong in his life, right? Literally, Billy put everything that was wrong in his life, that made him angry, that hurt him, that caused him trauma. He just kind of embodied it into Homelander and then turned that into his life's mission, like I said, for like the last decade or so. So unsurprising, once Homelander was dead, he felt empty. There was nothing because he literally let all of that consume him. That objective, that revenge plot is what he used to justify doing so many things that he knew were wrong, going against his conscience, going against his inner Lenny, if you will, so many times with the objective of taking out this thing that he blew up to be so much bigger than it was. And so once that was gone, it's like, now what do I have left? What do I do? Where do I go? I still have life now, but I've made my whole life about this thing, and I've made so many bad choices with justification of getting here. I don't think Billy ever took time to really think about what happened after Homelander died. And maybe because he thought he was going to die too. That was very valid before he took the V, that he thought this is, you know, our final showdown is probably going to end with both of us going. I don't think he ever thought that there would be life after, because if he did, I think he would have made, I don't know, of course, I'm not guaranteeing, but I think he would have made better decisions. But anyway, that's kind of what ended up happening. We had our final battle. I mean, all the stuff around it. I guess we'll talk about some of this because the battle isn't much to talk about, honestly. But some of the things that led up to it. The funeral, that was sad. I'll say it again. I think the way that Sage went out kind of pisses me off, but I'm like, for what we got this season and the way things are going, I understand it. Just in a sense of, hello, since we've been introduced to Sage, she's been lobotomizing herself, right? Like her brain, like she said, her brain was so loud. That's a great description. Like her brain would not stop. It got her to the point where she'd be so overwhelmed that she literally was sticking, you know, whatchamacallit, like knitting needles in her eye to make her brain stop for a few hours. So that's not fun. Obviously, that's not a great way to live. I do think that if Sage had more in her life, i.e. connections and relationships and people, she probably would have chosen differently. But because she was very nihilistic about everything and she didn't have connections, which again, maybe if, you know, I hate to say it, but maybe if Godolkin had not turned out to be the way it did and they actually had a relationship, she might have felt differently. But yeah, in the end, she just didn't feel like there was a need for her powers anymore. And I think in her mind, she figured, I don't want to be part of the soup world anymore anyway, right? Like, I'm bored with this. She did her big experiment. It didn't turn out the way she wanted in the sense of everyone killing each other, which was a dumb plan to begin with. But yeah, if that's the case, then just take this away. So I'm kind of sad. Like, again, I said, even the timing of it really pissed me off as well, because I'm like, you've got the woman with the strongest brain in the world, and you're trying to figure out a plan to get to Homelander and flawlessly execute taking out his powers. Why would you not get the plan from Sage first and then to me, that just, there's just certain things that were written this season that I'm like, were the writers paying attention? Or again, I try not to blame them too much because, like I said, I think a lot of things got chopped and changed last minute. But either way, that just made no sense to me. I'm like, you should have utilized as much as you could of Sage's good brain before she sacrificed her powers for the blast. And I get that they needed a soup to test that the blast worked, but I'm just like, I don't know. I think the timing of it didn't make sense. And we also maybe should have just grabbed another like random soup maybe in case it didn't work. But anyway, last episode, fine. We had time constraints. But anyway, that's Sage. She's going off, like she said, to go live a normal ass life. Love that for her. I hope she finds whatever she's looking for. I'm glad she didn't die though. I really did think that maybe she'd be a casualty of the season. Glad that didn't happen. Kind of feel like they made sure not to do that since we lost Noir and A-Train. That would have been a bit much. But yeah, so yeah, now I guess Kimiko's got this power. power. She's still a soup. I don't think she's going to change that, but she now has the ability to take out a soup if she comes across one that is maybe too dangerous or she just doesn't like that day. But yeah, there was that. What else did we get? We had a little bit of Marie. We had Emma. I did not know she was going to be in this season at all. I feel like that came as an afterthought, but digressing. We got more Marie and Jordan, very little of Jordan, honestly, more of Marie. Her and Annie having the conversation. Annie talking about how she felt like she was Marie many years ago when she joined the Seven with her and Maeve. That was kind of the same dynamic, that when she met Maeve, she was all starry-eyed and hopeful, and then Maeve was bitter and angry, and then she swore she would never end up like her, but then she did end up becoming like that. And as I said in the episode, that's the thing about bitterness and bitter people. A lot of people, if you've met someone who's very bitter, a lot of people very much like, oh, that person, it's very easy to get judgmental of them and say a lot of things. But one thing is important to think of when you encounter someone who's bitter. And again, I'm not saying you should spend time with them or try to fix them or anything, but just as humans, I think to live on this planet, having a level of empathy is important, because we got to share it with everybody, right? There's till the time comes when some of us can jettison off somewhere else, we got to share this big blue ball. So just understanding that a lot of people who are bitter, it's not because they woke up one morning and was like, you know what? Bitterness feels like something I want to try out today. Like, no, that's not typically the way it works. Most children, when they are born into this world, they are full of love, hope, and excitement. That's literally the three emotions that kids have 90% of the time when they're babies, right through until they're probably about 7, 8, 9 years old, right? That's why kids get over stuff. They cry if they're sick, if they're hungry, if they're hurt, if they're tired. That's the only reasons they ever cry. You give them a distraction that makes them happy, they're back to being joyful and bubbly again. Like, that's our outlook on life when we come into this world. It is life and experiences and many kinds of times trauma and incidents and all kinds of things that eventually chip away at that if we don't protect it. And a lot of us don't know how to protect our joy and protect that part of us. And we're not really taught how to do that either. Nowadays, we're learning about it. But if you look especially at older generations, boomers and back, mental health was not a thing. So you'd have all these things happen to you. And sadly, for some people, that bitterness was not at all intentional. It's just because these things kept happening and it just kind of became a focus on all the things that were negative. And then if, eventually it just kept stealing the joy until you're left with somebody who's very bitter. And so if you can understand that most people, I guess, like I said, don't want to be there and didn't actually necessarily plan to be there, but life led them in that path and they chose to take it. It is a choice, though. I want to make that very clear. Being bitter is still a choice, but when you understand that it's not one that people think of like, it's not a journey people think of when they're young and still hopeful. Like, yeah, I hope to end up at bitterness. Like, it just is a destination that some of us end up at. So yeah, just kind of understanding, like, we know now more from season 1 based on now, we know why Maeve ended up being bitter. And again, she's not bitter anymore. Like, now she got a chance to live a normal life. She's with the person she loves. I'm pretty sure if we saw Maeve now, she's not that same person that was in the 7, but at that time, that was her coping mechanism. But coming back, I guess we could say the same for Annie. She went into the 7 thinking it was going to be one thing, learned the hard way it wasn't, and it did make her bitter, but she's choosing differently now. She's realizing that there's more to life than that. And as she said, while she wanted to be that person for Maeve, and she was, we saw that in Maeve's final season, that Annie was very much the person who was still her little piece of sunshine, that Maeve was still very much like, shut up, but she was also thankful. She was expressing the same to Marie. She's like, you were the person who reminded me that other people look at me and they look at me as an example and I have to do better for them, but also that, I was you once and I can remember what that was like. So that was nice. Other than that, we didn't get much of Marie. Like I said, it's kind of sad. Like, I just feel like so much of what we got in Gen V season 2 just ended up on the cutting room floor. I get it because they were going to scrap Gen V anyway, but I still feel like it could have been instrumental to the story. Like, all due respect, love Karen, love Kimiko's character. Made zero sense for her to get irradiated to, the point of near death, to do a blast that humanized everybody when we had freaking Marie Moreau, who could have just pulled the V out of Homelander's veins from a distance. She could have pulled the V out of his veins from the next room over. That simple. Less damaging, less deadly, could have done all of that, but no, we had to go through all this. So, and I get it, like, Marie's not part of the show like that, but if the whole thing was to make, and personally, I'm of the mind that I would have loved for Homelander to actually have to live as a human, but like, if all we were doing to do is going to kill him at the end anyways, like, you might as well have just had Marie just pull the V from his veins, or even just the V1. I don't know, but either way, kind of sad that her arc ended up getting scrapped and very much minimized, but it was good to see her regardless. They've definitely set up that, you know, Kripke keeps saying, and again, I don't know why he's saying it because I feel like he has no control over it, at least where Prime's concerned, but he keeps saying that Marie and Co are going to be in the world somehow, right? And they did leave it open-ended with Marie, Jordan, and Emma taking the refugees somewhere, but I don't even know where that's going to go. Like, the next project is a prequel. I don't think we're going to get anything. And if we do, I'm not going to say never. I'm not going to say never because I have my own thoughts around how long this trend that's happening right now is going to last. But still, for the foreseeable future, we can just say that's probably the last time we're going to see Marie and those characters, which is sad. A lot of potential there. I mourn it. But anyway, that was that and the safe house. Not much else to say about that. There's really nothing to go into with the whole Ashley Bashley thing. I've said it before. Bashley is a superior Ashley. I said what I said. In the end, it looks like her conscience was nagging her, which again, that's what Bashley was always bringing out, was that Bashley was voicing what Ashley's conscience has been saying since season whatever, when was she introduced? Season 2, something like that. Anyway, we see that she wasn't okay with everything that was going to happen when she found out from O-Father that Homelander planned on executing anybody who didn't truly believe he was God. She knew that was going to be a massacre. So, you know, she didn't feel okay with that. I'd also like to venture to say that I don't think O-Father was really down with it either, but he was so up Homelander's ass, there was absolutely no way that he was gonna go against the grain. So anyway, O-Father's gone. That doesn't really matter. He was respectfully love the actor. I'll say it multiple times because I do think he's very talented, but he was introduced this season. Like, he's not that big a deal. So his being gone is whatever. Bashley came to the rescue when Ashley decided to finally listen to her conscience and do something to stop Homelander, because she's known since season 3 that Homelander had to go. So that was for her own self-preservation as well, for being fair. So that was pretty much Bashley. The Deep, not much to say about that. I'm glad he's gone. It sucks that he had to outlive so many other characters that definitely should have outlived him, but I'm glad he's not continuing. There's not much to say about that, right? Like, it's Homelander telling him exactly what everyone's been telling him since season 2. That's no surprise. Him being surprised that Homelander felt that way. Actually, no, I'll take that. Kevin is dumb. Kevin was very, very dumb. He was a little slow when it came to recognizing that certain people didn't care about him. But yeah, I guess him actually hearing the verbalization that there was no value, that Homelander didn't see him as anything other than a sniveling coward that he was. Whatever. I didn't care. Deep's storyline, in my opinion, was been done for 2 seasons. Deep's arc was literally from season 1 through season 3. In season 3, when he basically decided to double down and be more up Homelander's ass with no conscience, that's when I was like, there's nothing else to say. That's who he was in season 1. So I saw some of my comments mention it was like an anti-arc. That's exactly it. He really did not grow. He had the opportunity in season 2, crashed and burned, went back, which is real of life. A lot of people get chances to change and they choose not to, but that's it. The Deep has served no purpose otherwise. I know some people said he's comic relief. I honestly don't find most of his stuff funny anymore. Especially when it's repetitive. He's not the only one, by the way. A lot of characters in The Boys kind of have the same shtick, but yeah, he just, we had no use for Kevin. He was not adding to the storyline in any meaningful way anymore. So yeah, the fact that he went out, I'm glad it was Annie got a chance to kick him in the balls. I think it should have been a little bit more than that, personally. I understand effects budgets are expensive, but I feel like how much she forgets to use her powers when fighting makes no sense to me. You have the opportunity to blind people, Annie, do it. So sorry. Of all people, Kevin deserved to be blinded. He don't need his eyes for nothing. She should have fried his balls off too. But anyways, as we saw, he got his just end, and all of his sea friends turning against him and, violating him. And he basically died the same way as the director he took out, in a way. So anyway, bye Deep. There's nothing else to say about that. Chase, no issues. I don't really have a problem with Chase Crawford, honestly, but it's just the character was done. We could have gotten rid of the Deep in season 3 or 4. It would have been fine. Who else did we have? Was that it for the main things? Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Oh yeah, the Ryan versus Homelander. Not much to say about that. That was just a conversation that was long overdue. I am glad to see that they showed Ryan coming back to his roots, Becca's roots, and saying all the things that, just show that all the things that Becca did, all the years that she invested in trying to make Ryan a better person than his father and other soups that she was surrounded by, and really than Butcher, it was finally there. Ryan had to kind of go through his little zigzag path, as we all do, or most of us do, but he eventually came back to the understanding that, yeah, you are my dad biologically, but I'm nothing like you, and that's thanks to my mom, and I'm choosing to stay away from you, and I want nothing to do with whatever you're doing. And he said, he figured it out immediately. He's like, you have Soldier Boy, why do you need me, right? And of course, That's because he was there, because Soldier Boy told him exactly what Ryan did. Like, you are a shell of a man with powers. That's it. So glad that Ryan got that stance, and he recognizes now that he wants to have a healthy path going forward. As I said, I'm not happy about him being depowered. I feel like her blast should not have worked on Ryan, but I guess V is the source of all the powers, so I can accept that. Despite the fact that the V is like in his DNA, unlike it is with the other people. Sure, the blast worked. But I saw someone say online that he should have joined Marie and the others in like season 3. And I'm like, oh my God, that would have been fantastic. I would have loved to see Ryan's dynamic in the Gen V group. But well, that's never gonna happen. So yeah, Ryan's a human kid now. He's just a regular kid. And I mean, I think that's what he wants anyways. I don't think he ever asked to be a soup. And for the first half of his life, he assumed he was gonna be human anyway. So yeah, that works. Love that MM decided to take him as his ward. That makes the most sense, honestly, because MM's always been a carer. That's his thing. So yeah, that actually dovetails into MM, post Homelander. He is now, gone back, remarried his wife. He gets to do what he always wanted to do, which is just have a quiet family life at home. No longer obsessed with Homelander or Soldier Boy, even though Soldier Boy is still alive, but we're just gonna assume he's let that go for now. Yeah, we saw with Huey and Annie, not much to say there. We always knew they were gonna end up together. They're starting a family, great. Not much to say about that. Wish them the best. Back to like the final battle, with the last few moments of Homelander. I think it's the last thing I'll really touch on. Just the reminder that, he's been hearing a lot this particular season, but throughout the seasons, Homelander has heard repeatedly that he is nothing without his powers, that everything about him, he centers around being a soup, and without them, there's nothing there. And we finally saw that, right? He got depowered, he survived. We saw he didn't know how to function without using his powers in some way. And as I said, for him, it's especially somewhat sad, right? Because from what we've seen of this world, most soups don't really come into their powers until they're like maybe at earliest 5, 6, but then for many of them, it's not till they hit puberty. So they kind of live a normal life for a span. Homelander, from the day he was born, has been very aware of the fact that he was different and powered, and they've been testing and all those things. So he really has no concept of a life without powers. Like, there's just, his brain does not have the capacity for it. So that, even though it was only a few minutes of him being a normie, was like immensely devastating for him. And that's why I said that if there was a chance that he could never get his hands on V again, the ultimate punishment would have been leaving him to try to figure out a normal existence, which, I mean, obviously within the confines of a cell, but like he probably would have taken himself out, honestly, after about a month. But that would have been really feel like fitting for him to actually know what it was like to walk among the people that he looked down on for so long, but he also wanted to be as well. So it would have been complicated, to say the least. But yeah, it was kind of, the lines were a bit, but I kind of believe it though. I feel like there's always been a little bit of I feel like Homelander's in some weird shit, is my point. He's always been into some weird stuff. And the fact that he let that all fly when he was begging for because he's never been scared. I mean, mortally scared before. He's been scared, but never mortally. That was the first time in his life he was like, oh, I really could die for real, for real. So yeah, that was very interesting, but he's gone now. And as I said, fitting end, like we did not need him anymore. And I agree with the statement that the world's a better place without him, but he was never the source of the problem. He was just a representation of it. And the real issue is Vought, which is like, coming down to Billy's death, when he realized that, okay, yeah, Homelander's gone, but soups still remain. Edgar's back in power. He's going to just keep the machine running, like he said in a couple episodes back, where he's like, I'm just going to go back to Vought when it's all said and done. I'm just biding my time. And I said it in that episode, and I'll say it now. Stan Edgar is not necessarily a good man. He's definitely not a straight and narrow man, but he definitely had more conscience and more boundaries than a lot of the other people who were involved in that world, right? Like, he knows he can't control everything. He knows vices will exist, but he's like, at least I'm going to try to put some level of guardrails on the chaos. And so I feel like for as long as he's there, Vought will probably be, and soup life will be a little bit more controlled. But I do understand Billy's reason for him wanting to do his Hail Mary with the virus, in that there still are soups out there. Like he told Huey, there's someone out there who's aching to take Homelander's place. Someone out there with similar powers, maybe not exactly the same suite of powers, but we already know there's a lot of soups that are more powerful than Homelander. They made that clear in Gen V. So how long before one of them decides to do the exact same thing Homelander did, then we're doing it, rinse, repeat again? But Billy's solution was also very short-sighted and poorly written. Like, you're just gonna take out the soups in Vought? Not all the soups are in Vought. What do you mean? Like, As I said in the episode, the idea of soups is never going away. That's what Billy would never be able to erase. Once you put something out there, once humanity knows something, you can't unknow it. There's no going back. That's why they say progress always goes forward, right? We're never going to go back to the way life was 3,000 years ago. We know too much. We understand too much. We know it's possible. So that's the same thing with this. Soups are out there, whether Billy likes it or not, whether anyone likes it or not. And even if Vought stopped making them, somebody else, we already know that other countries were working on the V formula since season 2. So that was never going away, right? That was the sad reality. And his Hail Mary, so-called Hail Mary attempt to take out the soups was, as I said, poorly written, ill-conceived, and really I just feel like in the end was just a ruse to get Hughie to end him because he felt empty, right? Especially when Tara died and Ryan rejected him. He was like, I literally don't have anything. He did have the people. Like, I still think MM and Hughie and Annie would have been, well, mostly Hughie, friends with Butcher if Butcher decided to actually try to do something that wasn't vile. But as I said at the beginning of this review, Butcher's whole life revolved around Homelander and taking out this guy that he just felt empty without it. And that's why when he was sitting there in those final moments, he was like, what do I do? I don't know what to do now. I don't know. I don't have a purpose anymore. I don't have anybody that's close to me because I pushed everybody away or alienated them or killed them with my own hands. I don't know what to do anymore. And so he wanted to exit, but Billy's not the kind of guy to self-exit, if that makes sense. So he did that. He wanted a binary decision and he wanted Hughie to be the one to do it. And that's what happened. So yeah, you know, we got two sides of that same coin, Homelander and Butcher gone. And I guess some would argue it's still a better place without Billy in it as well. I feel like Billy had the potential for redemption, but without Ryan or a purpose to do it, he probably wouldn't have done it. So I guess fitting in the end, it's fine. You know, he's done with this universe. That was very clear that he had no reason to continue on outside of this universe, really, as he was written. But yeah, it is what it is where that's concerned. But yeah, that was pretty much the finale. There's not much else to say about it. I feel like I said, for the season we had, it fits. The season itself, if I was to give it a rating, it's not my favorite. It's probably the worst season of the Boys, for being real. It really was not strong compared to what we know they're capable of. I'm going to leave that up to all the reasons I've mentioned multiple times. I wish it could have gone out a little bit better, but still thankful for the show. It was a lot of fun. It was very unique and it brought a lot of different ideas of ways to do shows and tell stories to the world. So even though this is done, hopefully it's gonna, create space for different types of shows with a similar idea to fly now that it's done. As I said at the beginning, thank you so much for those who've been watching these reactions along with me from the get-go. I appreciate you all a lot. We're done with this, but I don't know. If something else comes out of the universe that I like, I'll probably jump on. Vought Rising, I'm gonna be real with you, it's not enticing me at all at this point, so probably not gonna be doing that. But if they do come out with something else that looks interesting, I may tune in. So hopefully you'll stick around for that. But outside of that, I got tons of stuff that falls into the superhero-y, sci-fi, fantasy category. That's my bag. I love that. So hopefully you've joined the fam so you can stick around for more of those come around. But other than that, it's been a hell of a season. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.